Hi, everyone. I'd like to start today's chat with a brief activity. I'd like you, and you can do this from home, to raise your hand if you've ever had someone in your life believe in you more than you believed in yourself. Fantastic. I can see that's most of you. And for those of you that haven't raised your hand or are still thinking, I'm hoping by the end of this chat, you'll be able to identify the mentors in your life that believe in you. I began my mentorship journey over 20 years ago when I was 16 years old. I applied to become a mentor with Big Brothers Big Sisters, which is an organization that matches individuals in the community with young adults or young adolescents or children that need a little extra help, whether it be at school or socially or anything else. I applied like any other job. I filled out an application, and I also filled out an extensive questionnaire that highlighted my strengths and my weaknesses. After I was accepted, I was given the profile of 3 children. The first child had significant needs. I knew that at 16 years old, I hadn't yet developed the skill set needed to assist that child. The second child sounded just like me. I thought immediately, this is great. And then I thought again, what could I possibly teach this child? They need someone that will make them more well-rounded. The third child was Andrea. She was described as very shy, lacking confidence, and she also came from a family of 11 children. I knew that Andrea would benefit from some one-on-one time. A week later, we met. We met with a caseworker from Big Brothers Big Sisters, and our first few meetings were very structured. After that, we were able to make our own plans, which mostly involved eating pizza, going to bookshops, and visiting Chuck E. Cheese and playing games. Slowly but surely, Andrea started to open up. She started to laugh, she started to joke, she started to talk more and share her hopes and dreams with me, as well as some of her problems. That's when we started setting goals. Every month we would meet, and whenever we couldn't meet, we would chat and check in with each other. When I went to university, the check-ins didn't stop. Andrea always made sure to be in touch with me, which wasn't always easy because she went to several different foster homes, group homes, and high schools. Even if she was somewhere with a new address, she always had my number. And she called to see what her life was like, what was going on, and asked what new goals we could set. As a result of doing that and that consistent contact, Andrea is the first member in her family to graduate from higher education, something I'm very proud of as a Big. She's also currently working as a caseworker that helps adults that are struggling to maintain their sobriety. Mentoring, when done right, comes full circle. The person that you've helped wants to help others and make their lives better too. I haven't always been a mentor. Sometimes I've been on the other side of the table as a mentee. One of my favorite instances of this was my first year teaching at my Uncle Jim's school. Some of you may know this, as we've got quite a few teachers in the audience, but before the academic year started, my uncle would send an email out to everyone asking what year groups they'd like to work with. I responded, I'll work with any year group but year 6. I thought, that's it. He probably will think I'm so open-minded. The next morning, I opened up my email to find my name right next to year 6. There must have been a mistake. I came to school, I walked straight into his office. He was reading the newspaper, and I said, what have you done? You haven't heard me properly. I said I didn't want year 6. I was bullied in year 6. I don't want to go back and teach that year. He looked up from his paper, and he said, I know exactly what I did. I think you should try and challenge yourself. If you can teach the year group that you don't want to teach, I think you could probably teach anything. I was a bit frustrated, but I accepted it, and I went back to class, setting up my room. I was determined to do the best work that I had. I can happily say after more than 10 years of teaching, year 6 is one of my favorite year groups to work with, along with a few other year groups that I was quite dubious about. I encourage each of you to see instances like I had with my Uncle Jim as mini mentoring sessions. I could have taken that conversation in an entirely different direction. Instead, I saw that he believed in me. I saw that even if I failed, he would be there to help me pick up the pieces, like I did so many times with Andrea. And as a result, I ended up loving it. The third thing that I'd like to talk about is matching and the importance of it. When I became a big sister from Big Brothers Big Sisters, I filled out a really long questionnaire. Some of the questions seemed quite tedious and repetitive, but the questioning was essential to make sure that we had the right match. Now, there's lots and lots of programs out there, more than Big Brothers Big Sisters. There's also a program called Fast Track, which matches people that have founded startups with adults that are looking to develop their skills. A coworker of mine applied to be part of the cohort last year. She gained so many skills from it that by the end of the program, she became a talent partner at her company. I asked her if she found the mentoring beneficial. She said she probably wouldn't have had the confidence to go after that without the guidance of the mentor giving her the new skills and necessary applications that she needed. Finally, matching isn't always through a formal program like Big Brothers Big Sisters or the Fast Track cohort. Sometimes it's organic. I also had a coworker that absolutely had a passion for writing. She loved it. She wanted to become a writer. She told everyone at work, "I'd love to write." Unfortunately, there wasn't the space for her to do that. She started looking elsewhere for writing jobs. Unfortunately, she fell into that catch-22 conundrum that I'm sure quite a few of you are aware of. She was told, "You cannot get a job without the experience." Where she would respond, "Well, I can't get the experience without the job." Pretty frustrating. I asked her, "Would you like to be put in touch with a couple of writers that might help you develop these skills?" She told me that in the past she had won a few creative writing competitions and was really, really excited to meet these people. I set her up with a teacher named Sam who earned money on the side, writing blogs and travel posts through various websites. I also set her up with another mentor named Adam. He was a freelance copywriter and had been doing amazing work for decades. After meeting with both people, she started to develop a toolkit and a portfolio of her writing. I knew that my work was pretty much done there, as I'm not a writer, but I also wanted to encourage her. So one day when she was away from her desk, I slipped a little book into it. It was a ghost story. She had previously told me that she won a ghost story competition. So inside the book, I just wrote, "I hope you keep writing." Each one of us continued to check in on her, asking how her writing was going, asking how she was doing with the websites, asking how her portfolio was. A few months went by, and I checked in with her again, and she had the biggest smile on her face. She couldn't wait to tell me she finally had landed the writing job of her dreams. I know that having a group of people and individuals mentoring her collectively helped her gain the confidence she needed to achieve the job of her dreams and be doing it today. Finally, I just wanted to say that mentoring basically sums up in 3 core elements. The first is finding a match that fits. The second is consistently checking in with that person to foster accountability. And the third is having that belief in them, because when you believe in them, they will continue to chase their dreams. I know that everyone here has a set of skills and talents that are just waiting to be developed. All you have to do is find the right match. Thank you.